Because when you're yourself, you're probably a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Never think about that shit? What? When you give people the advice, just be yourself.
He's not talking to you guys.
Welcome back to another great episode of Careful Boys. We have with us Cris Sosa.
Woohoo! What's up, Chris?
Joining us.
Love being here.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think at any point of your life you felt like you were socially awkward?
Socially awkward.
Yeah. Did you ever
Oh
have that?
man, I didn't find out until I moved to LA that I would be socially awkward when it comes to like my first time like being in the green room as a comedian, because it's like it's a lot of pressure when you're a new comedian going into a green room. You're in a room with other comedians and you feel like you have to be funny. You have to like, throw in the jokes or come.
Because you're trying to like impress a little bit and network at the same time.
Network, and then you're also there because
Just measuring dicks.
Yeah, with comedy though. You know what I'm saying? That funny bone.
Funny dicks. Funny boners.
Exactly.
You would do really bad in a green room, but keep going.
Why you gotta make it so real? Why can't we just shoot the shit as homies here? Why can't this be like a JK News talk show where we just talk?
He wasn't even like, yeah, about me. Would I be good?
Yeah, that would
fucking turn my boner down, dude.
That would annoy me. I would get back in the car and be like, okay, that was yeah, there was a couple of those, but yeah, it was heavy with that, you know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you found a natural groove with that now, or?
Yeah. I found a natural groove because it really spoke for itself when I get to stage. When I get to stage and I would get down. When I get off, when you go into the green room, it's like, oh damn, bro, okay, I see. So that made me feel comfortable with other comedians and all that stuff. It's kind of just like I would just let my work show like what it is. Like
that's good, yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, like then I'm like, cause now like, and it feels so dope. I really appreciate comedians that I respect. They respect me and they give me props. They give me love. They acknowledge like, yo, we see the growth. We see what you're doing, and you know, it's even since I've been back now. You know, like I would even say I got way more comfortable with you guys. You know, because I remember my first time, like a couple of times, I was like nervous. I didn't know how to jump in. Y'all were doing the JK thing.
When was that? That was years ago, right?
It had to have been like 2018.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. It was a little bit ago. Pre-pandemic for sure.
Yeah.
I had these I Know Bitch shirts. I was like, I got you one. And bro,
that was fun.
You wore one, bro. I thought that was like so tight. It was like the next time that they brought me back, he came with it on. I was like,
right.
oh hell yeah. So you know, it's just
I liked it. It's just funny. His shirt says "I ain't no bitch." Like it's.
I had I Ain't No Bitch.
Closet sweetheart, man. You considerate motherfucker.
I always wear your fucking Kinja shirts too.
I already said you considerate. No, man, I can't be giving compliments out here, man.
No, I'm very considerate.
That's really good because I like that it's tied in with the confidence you have in your skill.
Yeah.
Transfers into the confidence you have socially. Like, because I think a lot of solutions for social awkwardness are just like easier said than done. You know when people go, dude, just be yourself.
The fuck does that mean?
Yeah. I think a lot
Because no one likes myself.
I think a lot of
I don't
people
like
struggle
that.
with it. Yeah.
Because when you're yourself, you're probably a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Never think about that shit? What? When you give people the advice, just be
He's
yourself.
not talking to you guys.
What if yourself was a horrible human being?
He's talking to some of you guys.
You ever thought about that?
Because until you are even self-aware of yourself, you're a fucking desperate ass fucking simp thirsty motherfucker. So you're like, oh, you want me to be myself? Then I'll be fucking just creeping out the fucking bedroom window of the girl I like.
What if yourself is you're a mean human being? You don't even know that you're mean, and you go around being mean to people, and then people are mean back to you, and you're like, I don't even know why people are so mean to me. And it's like, you just got what you dished out, you fucking unself-aware motherfucker. And I think the key is not being yourself, but try your best to be self-aware. So what people do is they'll imagine a negative image of themselves, and it's like not realistic.
Right, it's
or
more just a manifestation of fear.
Yeah, or they imagine a positive image of themselves, and it's not realistic, and it's not an accurate portrayal of how people see you. And I think that's probably what you want to achieve, is as close to how people kind of see you.
Yeah.
You try to unravel all the things that you think you are.
Right.
I think be yourself only applies to people that are like putting on a front. It's like you're not really being yourself. You're trying to impress. You're trying to do this and that, but that's not.
You're being the character that you created.
Exactly. So I think that's what they mean by be your actual self, not the one that you're projecting.
Yeah, versus like be yourself, but like naturally you're like either a sociopath or like a murderer. It's not like that.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I think Anthony, you're a good example of like
Frontin'?
no, not like
He's a fake ass bitch, huh?
Why you gotta double down? I already made the joke.
But I had
double
one.
down
Come
on
on,
it,
let
man.
me play.
What the fuck?
self-deprecated, and he just got piled of shit.
Man, where's my ain't no bitch shirt, man? Give it to me.
I want to play.
It's like, dude, just to be honest, my opinion of Anthony is like he's really cool. Like, in his reputation, he's
That's why we gotta take him
he's
down.
really like fucking cool guy. So then, but then like you wouldn't know that like going back in time to like even like early college, you wouldn't have thought like you were the coolest dude, right? You just were.
Very uncool.
Okay, there you go. Like,
You felt uncool in college?
I felt like no, I felt very uncool in high school.
Yeah.
And then college, and this is a crazy this is a whole other topic, but I felt like college was a chance to I felt like the transition, I became very self-aware, and then therefore I started putting energy into becoming the person I wanted to be.
that was your rebrand.
So like I feel like that was my rebrand. I feel like there was an essence of like fronting, but fronting with purpose, right? Because if you don't like almost manifest the energy and the person you want to become, you won't become that person. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I had a second chance to be a better person than I was in high school. That's all.
I had the opposite. Oh, no, go ahead.
Because you know how some people say fake it till you make it, or they're like you just gotta be confident. But in a lot of times when you're working that stuff out, it comes out wrong. Like you're egotistical, you're not ready yet, and you're entitled because you think you're this person.
Which I ran into all of those things still as well.
Yeah, we
You
all
know what
gotta
I'm saying?
work through all of that.
Yeah.
And then, but you're right though, it's kind of like you have to have this image of who you want to be and work toward that. But along that journey, there's weird things that like we know clearly if someone's fake, like, hey, you're just a fraud. You're not who you think you are. But then what's the difference between that and someone who's like working toward being that?
Yeah.
okay.
I think that's you're just really pushing your own boundaries and seeing where those boundaries are at. If you go too far behind this line, then now I'm egotistical. Or if you go past this line, it's like, oh,
So people are working out.
yeah, they're
boundaries.
figuring out. All right, I don't want to be that cocky. You know what I mean? Let me dial it back from there. But you have to get there first to understand.
Yeah, it's always a double-edged sword. People are like, be more confident. Then you're like, I'll be more confident. Then you're like, you too cocky. All right, I gotta tone it down.
But how did you
trying
find
to
your
find
voice?
it
Like,
out,
how did
yeah.
you find your stride having to meet, like, when you enter college and you're meeting new people every single day and you're making.
Well,
first
you
impressions
saw
all the time?
like every shade of me, I think. You know?
And it took all 4 years to like get to who you want to be?
No, not necessarily. But I do think that like there's like your journey, and then there's also recognizing your journey relative to like human beings around you. I think I got very, very either lucky, or my awareness wasn't just my self-awareness, but awareness of like peers that were healthy for the person I wanted to become. You know what I mean? So if I surrounded myself around like better people, then there's chances are they're gonna rub off on me, and I'm gonna be more like them. You know what I mean? I was easy to adopt mentors and be willing to like put myself into that position and be like, hey, you know, like I don't know that much. If you could please, like, you know, I know you see something in me. If you don't mind, just like.
Did anybody ever check you and go, hey, bro, you're being kind of weird? Just kick it.
Yeah, I think all of my friends checked me in one way or another, but like I don't think I was like somebody who needed to get hella checked. I just think there are like enough people that would be like anchors.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you know, it's not like you're crazy. It's just more like, hey, we know what you're trying to be, or like, you know what I mean. Close friends are like, we understand who you are and like what you want to be and stuff like that. So just stay in the lane a little bit better is all, you know.
I had that in high school. I was pretty popular. I was known for dancing, performing, doing talent shows. We get boxing, like and training and stuff like that. And then I joined theater, and then I was booking every role I auditioned for. So I was really like, I was that guy, and I held that too. I got the most likely to be famous award in senior year, yeah. And then most talented is what like the two that I won. I didn't get most funny. That was kind of I thought that's the one I wanted, right? But I got those two. And which obviously it don't matter, but it's one of those like, all right, cool, I got those things. But then when I moved to LA, I'm 19. I'm thinking I was the shit, right? But when I moved out here, I found out that like everybody's out here is the shit, you know, and they're cold at what they do. Like I remember when I went to like it was like a dance night where all the dancers come out to this spot, the Federal upstairs.
Oh yeah, no.
And I was like, well, I dance. I'm gonna go right.
Damn, in NoHo too.
I know, dude. NoHo. And this was one of those like
those cross streets.
Yo, this was actually the night where I got humbled. Like I actually got discouraged from dancing because I remember like the Les Twins were there.
They're good.
One of the best like
all the
Tutter,
nights.
like all these like cats. They're in a cipher. They're going in, and I'm having my moment of like, okay, I'm about to go in there, right? And I went, and I remember going in, and everybody obviously they've never seen this face before, but it's one of those like okay, and then it was like they're all right, and I wasn't really doing cold moves. I wasn't getting reactions of like, oh.
Did you get like, wait, this works in Houston?
Yeah, for real. I was like, this is cool, right? I was like trying to, dude, it felt so. It was like I just remember like
They love this in Houston.
oh shit, that shit. Like I still do that. Oh, bro, I got
That works everywhere still though.
I left, bro, and I was like, damn, like I'm not as cold, I'm not as the shit as I think I am. You know, and it was like, it was humbling, and I stuck with just like comedy, and I'm gonna just stay in my comedy lane and learn the comedy stuff, but still figuring out those like being self-aware, learning all these things, being nice, because another thing is like I was always like afraid, just kind of like I didn't want to have problems with anybody, I didn't want to have any issues, I wanted to be accepted, so I was always so, hi, how you doing?
People pleaser.
Hey,
no, for real,
yeah, I would be like exhausted by the end of the night, like my cheeks hurt because I was just so smiling so much, but it was all of those learning things of like how to go, is this too nice, dial it back, and all these things. And then it turned into being self-aware of like, okay, like know who you are, know what's too much. I love to give props. I love to give credit when it's due. It can come off as like, all right, you're just like thirsty or you're sucking up, whatever. But like, no, I genuinely mean it. I'm gonna give you props. I don't need props back. I'm gonna just give it to you. You know, like that's just how I rock. But I know now of like what's gonna be like, oh, you're just being that guy, like bring it back some. I just give it to when it's due. That's all.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That personality that you were like emulating of like, hey, that's what I had like as a young person, like when I was like 12 or 13.
You used to be socially awkward?
Well, yeah, I used to just I just didn't know anything, and I used to be too much, and I used to be too loud, and everything was just too high. And then my neighbor, who was this Korean DJ, who was like super cool, he was like 2 years older than me. One day I went over to his house to just hang out, and him and his friends, they were just like smoking, just very chill. And I've never hung out with anybody that had that vibe. It was like I was just hanging out with other kids. And then this dude literally said to me, do you know how to chill? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean chill? I was like, aren't we chilling now? You know, and it was that exact energy. And he goes, check this out. He goes, check this out. Just chill and just don't talk and just chill. And I literally went like this, and then I got it,
and your eyes are still like,
and I understood, like, and he was such a great, like, just that day that really stuck with me forever, because he was like, you don't always got to be saying something, bro.
Man.
And I never met anybody that had that mentality. I was like 12 or something. And then the second time that it really solidified it for me was during the era where I already knew you. And this is kind of, I don't think I've ever said this, but and I definitely didn't tell Cindy, who I owe, our mutual friend Cindy Manoa. She was like a famous like dancer in our scene. She was in Cabo Modern. And back when I was just a spectator in all these different shows, I used to attend them. And I'd never been on that stage. I used to watch people. And I was like, dude, this girl's dope. I thought she was so cool. I had like a weird crush on her. And then I would see her at parties where you were also at, and I wanted to like, you know, talk to her, but I was still kind of too excited and and like, I didn't know that people thought that was annoying. And then I remembered like a year later, I didn't see her anymore. And then a year later, I was just like, this one day I was at another party of theirs, and I was just tired. And
he's like, damn, this guy's so cool. That guy's so cool, man.
I was so exhausted that I was just chilling, and I was just like this for most of the party. And then
And she came to you.
she came to me, and she literally just said, you're pretty chill. And
It came full circle.
And I remember going, oh fuck.
That's a Ratatouille moment. It's like goes back to chilling with his homie.
And then we started like, no, we didn't date or anything, but like we became really good friends. And then we were talking, and then she was like, you know, I never really noticed you until you were like more calm. And then I was like, dude, you just saved my fucking life.
You know where I learned that from? The dog park. Socialized dogs, right? When you're at the
That's
dog
such a Bart thing to say, bro.
Socialized dogs, they're literally like this, right? And then you have another dog that never really goes out, like that. And then he just goes up to every single dog once, sniffs their ass. And then this one that's insecure is biting out of no reason, like that, right? And then even the secure dog that's just chilling, like I come to the dog park all the time. An aggressive dog could come up to that dog and go like that, and that guy's just like, you know, and you kind of just observe.
He's seasoned.
Just from like natural energy, you're like, oh shit, like when people are chill, like, you can tell who's the chill one, you can tell who never gets let out, you can tell the one that's like, this guy runs the show at the house. And you're just like, what the fuck? And you're like, damn, I think humans are kind of similar. You can kind of tell the overhyped one, or the guy that's like puffs his chest out at the bar, but it's really because he doesn't know how to fight. You know, so he wants to overcompensate.
Right. That's interesting that you observed that. That's a key observation.
There are similarities.
Like you took a lesson and you're like, that's a life lesson right there.
Everybody's like, why is this guy looking at dogs so long?
Everybody else is looking at the dogs like, stay away from that guy.
He's having a fucking breakthrough.
That is something I wish. That is something I wish we were taught.
Yeah.
Is paying attention inward and the energy that we give, and like everyone's talking about vibes now, whatever, right? But they never talked about this shit when we were like in high school, or, I mean, no one would even
Because our teachers weren't players.
Those were and those were things that you had to get from an OG or a homie.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was fly, who was fresh.
But
you
also
know?
the lesson sticks more when you learn it firsthand, and not someone just telling you, oh, this is how you should be, this is what you should do.
It sticks more when it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest lessons, I feel like the biggest lessons you learn are like the harshest ones. And like, I pride myself on hygiene now. But I remember the exact moment, like it was yesterday. And I remember going to my best friend's house, and after we've been playing in the summer, right? And I go and play at his, where he got these new turntables. So he's like, oh, come over, check it out. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. We walked to like Thrifty's ice cream, got ice cream, all that. It's just like a hot day. I go inside his room, and he goes, bro, you smell like a dog. And then from that point, I was like,
You're like, I was socializing with dogs.
I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck? And then I was just kind of like all in my head now. And I'm like, dude, is my mom buying the wrong detergent? Or like, because I take showers every day. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then so from that point on, I think my whole like smell good regimen, I had to make sure that I nailed it. Like, you know, I'm like, dude, maybe my mom, I'm like, I'm gonna need to start doing my own laundry, mom. Cause I don't know what the fuck you're putting in these clothes. I gotta start buying fucking name brand shit. I'm like, what kind of shampoo you guys use? Okay, like Herbal Lessons, I'm gonna buy some name brand shit. Can't be buying some fucking Chinese shampoo, whatever the fuck she's using at home. You know, I had to switch the whole thing up. I think all because of that one moment that my homie called me a dog.
I feel like when you're hanging out with people and somebody smells, is it like wrong to like call them out, or is it?
It's wrong to call them out in front of everybody else, because then you're like also being like hella whack. But if you have that relationship and you pull them to the side at the end of the night or some shit, and you're just like, I gotta keep real with you, man. You kind of smell funky.
Yeah, because that could like save their life, like socializing with other people, because that might happen if they.
Some people stubborn, dog. We tell people, and then they just like, nope. And multiple times.
They say nope.
Yeah, I think when people have like kicking breath, or if like, you know, things that they can't help to, it's like, for example, like super sweaty palms that like anytime they like shake your hands, their hands are sweaty. It's like, if you're close, I'm gonna be like, hey, do this. Whenever you shake hands, like wipe your hands before you fucking shake people's hands.
Hey, yeah, man.
Because it's not a judgment of who you are as a human being, but it's an experience with another human being that you're gonna have. So like, I just feel like you gotta be around homies that are like if somebody's got fucking something stuck in their teeth.
You got shit in your teeth. We're gonna take a fucking picture.
Yeah, like.
What the fuck, picture?
Right? You know what I mean? Like you say it because like that's just like you also want to be around that. If there's something wrong with you, like even in the crew, like we have something called swag check. You'll just say it out before the show or before a performance or like before you're about to get on stage or the camera's about to roll. It's just like, hey yo, swag check. And then everybody just has to check 1-2 everybody and make sure you're all good.
And then give him a kiss on the cheek, right?
Because you don't want to let your boy fucking to not look good either. And you
know,
don't
like if
want
like one sleeve is like inside out or something.
like your shoelace untied, your zip, your fucking flies down. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
That's dope. Because most guys are too busy doing nut checks.
Bangkok, boom. You know, like what the fuck? We're about to go on the stage.
The dance world has really helped me with that. Like big, like I gotta give a huge shout out to my cousin, yo, Be Easy. When I moved back to Houston, it was that. Like he's always fly, he's always fresh, he's always smooth, and it goes with his style of dancing too. He's an all around, all style. He's a b-boy, but he can get down whatever house, a poppin', lock, like he can get down. But it was one of those like I was always going to his crib and like I would have my fit, you know, and every now and then he'll just toss me a jacket like rock this, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, and then he ended up telling me like, bro, like, you know, we're family, bro. Like we look good, okay? We're good looking people.
Nice.
So there's not a lot of people who are out there that look good. So we have to own that. And keep it up.
Cool.
He was always just like, yo, like keep your you wanna be Bobby Chulo or Bobby Fail? You know what I'm saying?
Bobby Chulo, Bobby Fail.
That's right.
So he was keeping it G with me. And so I was and I always appreciate that because it gave me so I feel like even though I'm an adult now, I'm still getting gems. And it was like the perfect gems to like feel confident, know in the room that I'm like, I'm fly, I'm cool. I'm like, we would always have these like, yo, just let it rock, or like, oh, it just happens. Like this is like the stuff like that, and then going to like like thrifting, like that was his thing. Like let's go thrift, and he'll find some little like some sneaky, some gems, and like. You know, it was just like I really appreciate that, and it gave me like the confidence to like when I came back out here, I knew that like I'm going out there, Bobby Chulo, Bobby. You know? Yeah, man, that's be easy.
Good guidance,
yeah,
man.
Hell yeah.
Everybody needs that. Everybody needs a big brother or sister that just keeps it real. Where it's not about like liking you today, but it's about loving you enough to say shit that like you know isn't necessarily friendly, but you need that.
I have that, but as my wife, and I'm leaving my house, goes, is that how you want to brand yourself? All right, I'll go back here and fucking go change then. God damn.